tried it a few times, and I like the taste of it. You know, it's something like I always wanted. I had someone just telling me, nagging me all the while, telling me to have a drink, have a drink. But I carried on through with my boxing career, and I had some great victories. I went to West Germany, and I boxed their captain. I was captain. They made me captain. There's some great lads on the team. You know, we had a great team. We had a great camaraderie. We had a great. You know, it was all good. And I think this is probably one of my bestest victories I've ever had, to be honest, because I was boxing a really good lad. He was their captain, and the England coach told me to take my time and feel the lad out in the first round. Well, my dad was my trainer, and he knowing me and knowing I was tough and I was strong and I could hit hard, and my dad told me to go out first round and put it on him really, really hard and try and win the fight in the first round. And that's what I did. I did listen to the England coach, to be honest, and I just, as soon as the bell went, I went straight out and I just put it straight on him, and I stopped him in the first round, which was great. I seen the pain, I seen him grimace, I doubled the left hook, head and body, and he just landed in a heap in his own corner. And the sense of victory and that sense of victory and that sense of a heroic feeling and that feeling of power and great. Well, it was I can't explain the feeling. You know, it was just wonderful. You know, and we won the match. But I've done it again a few other times as well for England. I boxed in Bulgaria. I boxed the Bulgarian champion and knocked him out in the second round. But I had to box every day in a multi-nations tournaments, and I boxed the world amateur champion from Cuba now, Raymond Garby. I had to fight the day before, and then I fought him, but he beat me on a 3-2 decision, which he did fair and square. He landed a few more cleaner punches in the last round. He was a tall guy, and he was rangy, and he was very, very elusive. And he turned professional. He jumped ship, and he was only beat by James Tooney from America, who was one of the best fighters to ever come out of America. So, you know, the standard of fighting you can see is just like the highest you can get, like, you know. So, but even on that camp, I was captain of that as well. And after the tournament had finished, we all had a good drink and a good bevy, and you know, and I got a few of the lads drunk. I got and a few of the lads were sick. They couldn't take the drink, like, you know, but I could take mine. I was a drinker, you know, and a couple of the lads who was sick and he was being ill, and my mate Tony Costello, he wore very well. I had to turn him over and put him in the recovery position to stop him choking on his own sick. But so you can see, like, the drinking there, it was just a celebration drink, like, and stuff. But after I'd boxed for England a number of times, I thought, well, I'm boxing, you know, I've done it enough times now. I'm boxing the best in the world for a pat on the back. There was no Sport England and all that then. It was all, you know, you had a bit of expenses and stuff like that. But the one time I had to get my own train fare home and my own tickets to get and pay for stuff and all that. And I'm thinking, I'm boxing the best in the world for a pat on the back now. Once the novelties wear off and you've done it a few times and you've done it at home and you've done it abroad, and you start thinking, well, where's my career going to go next? So, you know, I decided to turn professional. You know, I went professional at an early age, 2 months after my 19th birthday, and I was still a young lad, really, you know. But you know, I was all in all the local papers and all the stuff, you know. Flute turns professional and stuff like that, and you know, and it started off really well, you know. It started off, but I was also working for my dad, and we had a scrap business as well and stuff. And I used to get in I used to have horses and stuff, and I used to breed, get my mares put in foal, and I'd deal in cars and I'd deal in lorries, and you know, I was in that sort of stuff, and I was into all sorts of criminal activities as well, to be honest. You know, the sort of life that I'm totally shied away from today. But I was into everything, sort of thing, you know, and I was known for, you know, my toughness, my boxing, my family, scrap business, horses, everything, you know. So I'm just trying to get a picture of the sort of lad that I was. And people used to think I was a bit arrogant as well, because, you know, I don't think I was arrogant. I was just confident. You know, and I think because I believed in my own ability, and I really, I really did believe in my own ability, and I really did think I was invincible at that age. I really did. And I say professionally anyway, and I got a good few victories under my belt at first. My first fight was quite a hard fight, to be honest. In baptism, I boxed one of Brendan Ingall's lads from Sheffield, who was a very, very good coach. Brendan Ingle he's dead now, but he's one of the best coaches ever to come out of Great Britain. To be honest, his lads was always good, and he had that that low switch hitting style, which was which was hard, but I managed to get through the fights and stuff like that, and then. But what happened was my first ever loss as a professional. It was on a cut eye. And like the lad I lost to, I normally would, he normally wouldn't have lasted a couple of rounds, to be honest. And that was devastating for me. I'd sold hundreds and hundreds of tickets, and the fight was stopped in about 62 seconds. And I was devastated. But I'm going to just say this now: like I'd never cut as an amateur boxer, and since I'd gone professional boxer and I was old enough to drink. See, when I was amateur, I wasn't really drinking, but now I was older, I was drinking. So I don't know whether it was the drink that had thinned my blood out. I've been told, that could have been the case. It could have been just that professional boxing is different to amateur boxing, but I'll never know. I'll never know that one. You know what I mean? But I had my first loss, and I was absolutely devastated. But it made me thrive for I just thought I'd come back better. But when once you've had like a loss as a professional, you're supposed to build yourself back up. So I needed to get another couple of wins to get myself back, to get like on the road towards a title fight or anything like that. So, but I managed to do that. I had a few more setbacks as well, and then, but within 3 years of being a professional. I found myself boxing for the British middleweight title, which is a great honour, and it's hard. There's some great fighters like Alan Minter and Tony Simpson and stuff like that who boxed for the British middleweight title. Terry Downs and stuff like that. And it was middleweight. It's an hard weight division. But within 3 years, and I'd lost a couple of fights on cut sides as well. But I'd still managed to get myself there. And I'd had some mad summers as well, because like through the boxing season when it's closed, I used to because I'd like drinking and that now, I'd party and stuff like that. And I remember going away to Cavos and working the door. I stayed over there for 3 months, and I put on loads of weight and stuff like that. And I was knocking loads of people out and drinking loads and getting into all sorts of scrapes and doing all sorts of criminal activity and that. And I couldn't come back on a plane. I was in so much trouble, so I had to get I had to come back by land. It's another story, but I'm just trying to paint you a picture of the sort of lad that I was like, and and I was doing all sorts of criminal activities and stuff like that. It's all in my book, Jesus in my Corner, my boxer's journey from hell to Christianity. But I ain't got time to go into all them things today. But I'm just trying to give you a picture of the sort of corruption and the sort of man that I was. And then after a crazy summer of doing all that, I'd come back and I'd start training, and then I'd start fighting again. But really, I shouldn't have been doing all this crazy stuff. I should have dedicated myself to my boxing career while I'd got the chance. I shouldn't have gone on away for months drinking and just binging and putting loads of weight on and just crazy drink and drugging it and all that. Because it's taking that much toll out of your body when you're expecting your body to win your fights, and then. And then you're battering your body, and it's got to recover from all the drink and the drugs and all the stuff like that. So, but I thought I knew best. I was young, and I just thought I could do anything. And but I managed to get up to the British title in 3 years, which was which was good, and the fight was live on BBC One on Sports Night. And it was watched by millions on BBC One. Harry Carpenter interviewed me. It was great. My first words was to him, you know what I mean, Harry, because of Bruno. And I boxed on the same bill as Frank Bruno a couple of times, and it was it was great, like, you know, just to be on TV, like for the on BBC One, watched by millions. But I lost the fight anyway. I lost the fight on a cut-eye after 7 rounds. The fight, there was nothing in the fight, to be honest. But I boxed a good champion who, on his first defence, you know. And when you fight a champion on their first defence, them always that, you know, them always at the best, you know. But there was nothing in the fight anyway, and I lost on a cut-eye after 7. My eye was too bad, you know. But you know, I suffered with cut-eyes all the way through my career, to be honest, and I suffered with, you know, not really dedicating myself properly enough. I never reached my potential, but I really wished I would have now. So if anybody's listening who's boxer, give it all you got while you got a chance, because I didn't, and I wished I would have done. But I carried on anyway, and as I carried on, my career was was going from strength to strength as well. Still, but I was still drinking. I was still going out drinking and stuff. I'd stay off it bits, do some training, do some things, you know, and I was asked to go to. I'd already sparred with Nigel Benn by this time. I'd already been on a training camp with Nigel Benn, and I met a guy named Jimmy Tibbs. Jimmy Tibbs is like a hard East End tough guy, and he took me to one side, and he said to me, he said, Andy, he says, you're a leader of men. He says, God's going to use you one day. And I just laughed at him. I was 21 years of age. I laughed at him. I just said, Jimmy, are you mad or what? You know, and he said, Andy, he says, you mark my words. He said, will you come to a church with me tonight? I said, yeah, if you want me to. But I don't really want to go. Like, it's only because Jimmy was asking me to go. And he picked me up and he took me to a church. And that was it. Anyway, I never felt nothing. I already dropped me back off. The camp with Nigel Benn finished, and you know, that was it. And we just carried on. We went our separate ways and stuff like that. And then carried on with my boxing career and carried on doing what I did. I was asked to go to Brighton to spar with Chris Eubank while he was on his world tour. I was his main sparring partner. I'd done hundreds of rounds with Chris. But you know what? I drank every single night. I loved Brighton. I loved the nightlife. I loved it, man. I was just out every night. I had everything all paid for in all the hotel, top hotel. But you know, a lot of sparring partners was coming. They was getting battered every time on the first day. But me, I could stick it out because I was tough. And you know, and I was, you know, that's one good thing I could say. You know, I was tough, and I stuck it out lots. I'd done hundreds of rounds, and they called me back and forth. But I loved it. Just one big party for me, you know. But slowly, as I was getting older now, I was about 25 now, you know, and I boxed for a British title. I sparred with Nigel Benn already. So, you know, I mixed in good company. But my boxing was suffering because of my drinking. I'd got the party lifestyle. I liked drinking. I liked going out. Of course, I ain't because I did. You know, I liked it. I liked all the razzmatazz and all the stuff and that. You know, and every time I went to Brighton, I just out every night. You know, and it was great. Sparring with Chris, he was treating me well. He's a gent. He's all right. Barry Hearn come. He's manager and promoter. Barry Hearn, who was the manager of Steve Davis and all the snooker stars. He had the Matchroom and all the stuff like that. And Chris Eubank had told him I was his best sparring partner he'd ever had. Ronnie Davis, Chris's trainer, said I was, you know, because it was only me who could hold me on with him most of the time, you know. And he wanted to sign me up, so he offered me a deal. And he offered me a deal to sign with him and stuff. And Barry come to watch me spar with Chris. Chris being Chris, typical. They throw a punch in the first round, so I didn't throw a punch either. So it was like stalemate. It was like a bit of a, you know. But I know Chris was just trying to draw me in, like, and then to open up on me. But I fall for it, like, because I know him. You know what I mean? But he was like a fight every day with Chris. You know, he did try to. If he could knock you out, he would knock you out. You know, it would no tippy tappy. You know what I mean? I think being a paid sparring partner, being a paid sparring partner for these world champions is harder than fighting them, because you've got to do it every single day. You've got to do between 6 and 8 rounds every day, 5 days a week. You know what I mean? I've done it for lots more as well. You know, I've done it for Joe Calzaghe. I'd say Joe Calzaghe is the best out of a lot, to be honest. I've done it with lots more as well. I've done it with Seven Odker, Marcus Bayer. I went toe to toe with 11 world champions altogether: Richie Woodhall, Glenn Catley, Robin Reed. You name all the boxers of all the '90s era. I shared a ring with every one of them. You know, I could hold my own with every one of them. You know, I got in the ring hungover sometimes. You know, I got in the ring without a doubt hungover. But I've done more rounds with Chris Sparring than anybody else. But Barry Hearn, anyway, you know, he said, "I'll make you world champion when Chris Eubank retires. Join the camp." He says, "We'll have your first fight in Sun City in South Africa." And that was it. That's what I decided to do. I stopped boxing for Mickey Duff. I stopped boxing for Mickey Duff and I joined. So I was in such a good position because I just lost for the British title, and then I was sparring with Eubanks, and I had the Mel World at the feet, like all the press was saying. Andy's got the Eubank factor. Flute, he's got the Eubank factor. Sparring with Chris Eubank, it's going to take him to the top of the tree. He's signed with Matchroom. He's signed with Barry Hearn. You know, he's going to be the next world champion. And you know what? I really thought I was going to be the next world champion. I really did. I put my hand on my heart, and I really did. But you know what? I probably could have done it if I'd have stopped my lifestyle and stopped drinking and stopped living. But you know, I thought I could do both. I was young, and I was young, and I just really give it 100%. But that's another story. And then the first fight I had for Matchroom for Barry Hearn, I lost it. You know, I lost it because of my lifestyle and the stuff. It's all in my book. You know, I ain't got time to go into how I managed to lose it. But I only lost on points. Nobody ever knocked me off my feet or anything like that. But, you know, because I was tough, you know what I mean? But, you know, I lost it. And then, you know, that really put a big dent in everything. Like, he's got, like, Chris Eubank and his trainer and everybody, and, you know, saying, he's going to be the next world champion. All the press saying he's going to be the next world champion. And then I go and lose to somebody who I should have just beat, no problem. There's another story behind that, but I ain't going to go into it now. But you know, and then my next fight for Matchroom, I struggled again. And I thought, oh, what's happened to me? Like, I thought it's my lifestyle caught up with me. You know, I went to the Path Lab in Wolverhampton, and had my blood tested, and I'd got a substance in my blood called urea, what was caused by too much excessive muscular load. So it was too much training. So you know, that was another problem. So you know, because like the first fight I had with the Matchroom, because I got in the ring dehydrated, and it took everything out of me just to get through the fight, and that had caused me like to overtrain. There's a lot of stuff behind this, you know, this stuff, but I never did it right anyway. If I'd have lived right and done everything right, I would have been all right and I would have won it, you know what I mean? But I don't. So, you know, it's my own fault. I don't blame nobody else, you know, only myself. But and then, you know, my next few fights for Matchroom, I won them, like, but all the same, some of it was missing, you know, some of it was definitely missing, and you know, I wore the same fighter. Something was missing, and he never, you know. Then I left Hearn. I left him. I left Hearn because I wore plays. I boxed a kid named Mark Delaney for the WBO title, a version of the world title, and I lost on points over 12 rounds. You know, but like I should have won it, but they kept putting it on and calling it off. So by the time the fights had come out, I'd overtrained again, and nothing seemed to just be going my way. And all the same time as well, I was still having a drink, and I was still doing this, I was still doing that, I was still doing all the crazy lifestyle and all the stuff, you know. But yeah, you know, and you know, I was wondering what am I going to do with my boxing career, like, you know. And like I said, I've been a paid sparring partner for Joe Calzaghe. That was great. I just went to Wales on my own and just sparred him on my own. I mean, you know, who do that? Not many people who do that. I went to Sheffield, I sparred with Errol Graham. I went to Germany, I fought Seven Odker. I went to Germany, I fought Marcus Bayer. I fought Norbert Robert. You know, people used they'll just phone me up and I just say, and do you want a sparring job? Do you want to fight? And I say, who's it against? I ain't bothered. I'll just say, how much? You know, if it was a world champion or it was a top contender or whoever it was, it made no difference to me because I don't fear anybody. And I'm still like that today. I still don't, you know, but I'm just got a different mindset today. You know what I mean? But while all this was going on as well, I was getting into all sorts of other stuff as well, criminal activities as well, what's all in my book, but I don't really want to, I haven't got time to talk about now. And but I was slowly and surely also becoming an alcoholic, you know, because as the time and the years was going by and by, that's what was happening to me. And and you know, the drinking was just starting to creep up on me. And what can I say? First of all, I just started off as like a social drinker, you know, and then it was like a binge drinker. And I don't believe anybody sets out to become an alcoholic. I believe it only comes on by keep on drinking. You know, but I drank all the way through my boxing career, and you know, from the age of like 17 to 18, it really hindered me all the way through. You know, I could make no excuses, and I only got myself to blame. I don't blame anybody else because, you know, nobody makes you drink, do they? But it does, you know, I like the taste of it and stuff. And by the time I was about 20, 28, 29, I was like, I wasn't really that bothered so much now. I'd got myself back up there, back up to the top. I knocked a European title challenger out. And then I never got another title fight because I didn't have the backing like I had before. I never had the backing, you know. You know, but by this time, then, excuse me, by this time, you know, I could drink. And if you know, and I'd have if I, you know, for that one fight, I remember having a drink and it nearly lasted a week. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what happened. Then they phoned me up and asked me to fight Glenn Catley, who went on to be a world champion as well. And just after that one, I thought I had a week's notice to get ready. You know, and I've been drinking and binging and all sorts, and you know, but I took the fight anyway. I took the fight, and it was a 12-round fight. But I wasn't bothered. I just said, "How much? I'll do it." You know what I mean? And I went to Bristol, fought him in his own backyard, and I got stopped on a cut after 5 rounds. I was doing all right till then. You know what I mean? But I was like that sort of kid. I was always willing to take a chance anyway. I wasn't bothered. I didn't fear anything, and you know, and stuff. So you can see the sort of attitude I've got, and you know. Nothing really ever fazed me, like, you know, nothing ever fazed me. I mean, nothing ever bothered me. Nothing ever fazed me. I had loads of fights on the street. I had stacks and stacks. I had as many fights on the street as I had as boxing. You know, and I never lost. I was always come out on top. And you know, but I carried on with me celebrating and me drinking and me stuff and all that. Yeah, and before I know it, you know, I'm an alcoholic. You know what I mean? I get married to my childhood sweetheart. And I have 3 girls and stuff. You know, that's the other side of it. And life's all right, but you know, I've got properties and stuff like that. You know, I managed to do really well with everything. You know, money was never a problem. I was always successful because I knew how to make a pound. You know what I mean? Because of like the criminal stuff that I used to do as well, and all that. You know, I bought a property in Bulgaria. I bought a property in Turkey. I bought houses. You know, I done really well. But my drinking was slowly catching up with me. It really was slowly catching up with me. And then it got to a stage where, you know, I'd drink all weekend, and then it'd run into a Monday. And then it'd run into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then it'd slowly just, you know, it should just carry on. It should just carry on and carry on and carry on. And then, you know, I'd stop, and then I'd think, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, you know, all the stuff, you know, and I'd say, oh, I'm packing it in, I ain't drinking no more, you know, I ain't doing it no more. And but it only lasted a few days, you know, And then when, you know, alcohol, it's the great remover. It removes everything from you. It takes everything from you. And all the stuff, all the good stuff that I did was, you know, all the money that I'd made. And I'd also got a cocaine problem now as well, you know, because going with a drink, you know, cocaine keeps you out, don't it? And it makes you last longer, and you want to stay partying and stuff like that. You know, I mean, some days I don't sleep. So I mean, some things I just stay asleep. I just, you know, just stay asleep for 24 hours, 48 hours. We just keep going on drugs all the time, you know. And I lived that lifestyle for quite a long time. You know, my marriage fell apart. I lost my driving license. I smashed my car up. I got stabbed. I got hit over the head, or smashed my head open. All sorts, you name it. It happened to me. I'm telling you now, it happened. I'm lucky to be here to tell this story because there were some of the horrific things that happened to me. And then it just got to a stage where I was just stuck in a room, just isolated, just drinking bottle after bottle after bottle. And nobody knew what to do with me. And the only way out for me was death, to be honest. And I tried to do that. I tried to take my own life. You know, this strong, tough bloke had become a shivering wreck. I'd become a shivering wreck, just frightened of my own shadow. That's what the alcohol had done to me. And because it had broke my marriage up and stuff, and I couldn't see my children and all the stuff and everything else. Everything was just removed. Everything was just gone. I lost nearly everything. You know, all the years of hard work and everything had just gone. You know, gone. And I thought, how am I going to get out of this? I can't get out of this. But in my baffled, bemused mind, you know, my mind aggled by booze and drugs and that, I just decided to kill myself. I just couldn't cope, so I just took enough tablets to just kill an elephant, to be honest. And I was found, and I was took to the hospital, and they pumped a solution into me that saved my life. And I seen the crisis team at the hospital, and the crisis team, you know, they said there's people in the hospital with more problems than you. And I took that quite funny, you know, because I was in such a bad place. And I come straight out of the hospital and went straight back on the beer, back drinking, you know. And I was in a room just stuck again. It's no fun in it. I wasn't in no pubs having a good time and all that. I was just isolated, stuck in a room. And I remember, being sick into a pint glass and just drinking the sick. You know, because that's how deluded I was. You know, the sick was for vodka. I just drank it, you know, and that's how messed up I was. You know, I was totally don't know what else to do. I was just, you know, this tough, hard fighter had just become a shivering wreck. And you know, I went to the only way I'd stop drinking was it was when my body would stop me altogether, you know. And all the trouble started as well, you know. When I went to prison as well, you know. The first time I went to prison, I'd 18 notice, you know. I just thought it was a joke, you know. And then I come out of prison and I just went straight back to the pub again. And I really listen. You know, I was the sort of guy like, you know, I said to the prison guard, if you don't give me a cell on my own, I'm going to beat my cellmate up. You know, what's good about that? You know, but he got me a cell on my own, and that's because I live like that. So I deserved, you know, what I was getting, the punishment I was having. But you know, then I was locked up every time every weekend and stuff like that. I was just sick of it. And then in no time at all, I'm like this local boxing hero has turned into a local drunk. You know, I've gone from a hero to a drunk. You know, I've gone from being on the back page of the paper for this boxing, going to do this, got the Eubank factor, signed with Matchroom, going to be the next world champion, to being a local drunk, man. You know what I mean? You know, how bad was that? You know, and I couldn't take that. That was really, really hard for me. You know, I really, really struggled with that. You know, and somebody suggested to me, "And you gotta stop this, man. You got to." My sister and my mum and my dad, you know, they don't know what to do. My dad come down my house. My dad's my trainer. I looked my hero. I looked up to him all my life, and he locked me in the front room. He locked me in the house. And. You know, he says, "What are you doing that?" You know, I just climbed. As soon as he'd gone, I'd gone upstairs and jumped out the bedroom window to get out. You know, to go and get a drink. It's like proper, you know, addict. You know, from his sister Bev, I don't know what to do and stuff like that. You know, but somebody suggested me to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, and I was willing to try anything, to be honest, because that's one good thing that I did. I did like what I'd become, but I couldn't get out of it. And I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, and they talked about a higher power. Sorry, I get a bit upset because it's still